Tommy Walsh, at full time before it went to extra time, you had a resurrection, Lazarus-like. You nearly fell out of the Hogan stand here cheering the goal in. Wasn't to be though at the same time. What was the difference in the end?
Yeah, I couldn't believe it really. I suppose 4 or 5 points down with only a couple of minutes to go. Next minute got it back to 3 points. When you have a back to 3 points with a couple of minutes to go, you know you're in a game, that there's a chance. It's a small chance, but you have a chance. Ball came down, Mark Coleman caught it at the edge of the square. He's, a brilliant man to read the game. Ball came in from Owen Murphy, long last puck of the game kind of a thing. He caught the ball, gave it to Tim O'Mahony, who came out. The modern game is bring out the ball, don't launch it. The right thing to do, brought it out, but Kilkenny took it off him. Ball into Adrian Mullen goal. We couldn't believe it. And you know yourself, when you get the goal coming in to the last couple of seconds, the momentum is with you, and please God, then you might get the next score before anyone can think about anything. But Fergal Horgan blew it up, extra time it was, and you're wondering, would the mentality of Cork be we blown our chance and maybe come out a bit deflated. An important thing I'd say for Cork was they went into the dressing room. So did Kilkenny. They got probably, I'd say, 7 or 8 minutes just to calm down, relax the thoughts. Sometimes in extra time, you're nearly out in the field, panic stations, back out, and before you know it, the game is over. They went back in, probably settled things down. They've good men in there. They've the Rock, they have Kieran Kingston, and they just settled it down. And next minute they came out and they were just brilliant in that second half,
The talk downstairs in the press area was that Cork had to win the game twice nearly. It nearly felt like 2 games, and each time they had to outmuscle, outwit, out-hurl Kilkenny to get the prize of the All-Ireland final spot.
Yeah, they did. Kilkenny had a period during that second half of the first 70 minutes where I felt they were on top but couldn't make it count on the scoreboard. And Cork, they just stayed in the game. And next minute, Kingston really took off. He scored 7 points from play. Alan Cadigan was causing all sorts of problems as well, just through the quality of ball coming into him. He was going left, going right in a 2-man full forward line. Horgan scored 5 or 6 points from play. So they suddenly found their mojo. They were putting points over the bar from everywhere, and it looked like they were going to go on to win it. But Kilkenny just dug in like they do. The game is never over. Why is that? Because they experienced it so many times, coming back and getting last minute scores in big games. And when you do that, when it comes to these vital moments, you have that in your locker that you've done it before. So Kilkenny were there and got that last minute goal, and you felt, listen, to go on now and win it. But I just felt Cork going into the extra time, the too many players playing well to be down with themselves. You had Kingston, who didn't start. He was just given a tour de force. You had Alan Cadigan given a tour de force. And I just felt, Tim O'Mahony, bar that mistake, was after having an outstanding 70 minutes. So I just thought there was too many of them playing well to maybe, let them negative thoughts come into their minds. And they were outstanding again in extra time. And as you said, they won the game twice, and, really won it with, I'd say, work rate, heart, commitment, and all that.
As far as I know, Cork are travelling home by train, but I'm thinking, if I'm Shane Kingston, I'm going home to my dad, Kieran Kingston, I was thinking, Jesus Dad, what do I have to do to start? 6 points from play coming in as a super sub. I mean, what does a man have to do to get a start?
Yeah, absolutely. And we've seen it all since the game went to these phenomenal fitness levels, that I suppose when Kingston came on, he showed that it's subs win matches now. We've seen with Limerick when they were in the All-Ireland, 2018 was their first one. The subs coming on were so vital. You had Peter Casey coming on, scoring a couple of points from play, and it just, Dublin started this thing, finishers. They're not subs anymore, they're finishers in the football. So hurling has really transformed over the last couple of years, and that's happening now, and we've seen that with Cork today. Earlier on in the championship, Kilkenny had their finishers coming on. Walter Welch came on, had a fantastic contributions off the bench. James Berrigan was brilliant earlier on the campaign, but just didn't work out for the Kilkenny subs today.
It might be too early to tell, but looking at that game in very, very recent hindsight for you, was there any part of the strategy that you think Kilkenny got wrong, or was it just Cork were so magnificent it wouldn't matter of what Kilkenny would have done there today, Cork were going to win? Yeah,
well, if you look at all the different water breaks and half times during normal time, there was either a point in it or it was a draw match. So that will tell you that there was nothing between these two teams until extra time. So I thought tactically Kilkenny, traditionally we're the team that got the ball in long. It worked for you, so why would you change? The last couple of years hasn't worked quite so well, so they have changed. They brought in Conor Phelan, they brought in Mickey Comfort, modernised the whole setup, modernised the way we play the game, and they have tried to do that the last couple of years, and even more so this year. And I think they were just beaten by a team on the rise. I've always said it, the only place you have to look at is under 20 or under 21. It's a sign of a couple of years down the line. We've seen it go back to the last time Cork were successful, 1999. They went on won the All-Ireland 2004, 2005. That was on the backbone of the under 21 team of 97 and 98 with Don Logan, Sean Hogan and all these guys. You look at the current Limerick team, they won under 21 All-Irelands. The Clare team that won in 2013 won under 21 All-Irelands. Our own team that won, having won nothing underage up as far as minor, suddenly start winning under 21s. So under 21 is definitely a milestone, and is definitely a great way to predict how your county is going to perform in the next couple of years at senior level. So I think tactics, it's not all about tactics. Sometimes you can just be bet by a better team, and I definitely don't think tactics came into the play today, winning or losing it. It goes to the old school methods of you defend like a team and you attack like a team. And I thought the difference for Cork today was, and I've been beating this drum the last couple of years, when they learn to defend, not as defenders, but from number 15, then I will treat them as All-Ireland final contenders, and they did that today. Saw it on television the last couple of games, but to be here live at the game, you see so much more. How many times did Kilkenny have a goal chance and it was stopped with a last minute clearance? One of the Blarney guys, I met him after the game, and the Cork fans, he was wondering why Mark Holmes plays a lot of games in attack with Blarney. Why is he centre back, do I think, with Cork? You only have to go back and look at the last minute hooks and blocks he did. He did one on TJ Reid in the first half, he did Walter Welch another chance. That's why he's there, because he has the speed, he caught that last ball, even though finished with a goal for Kilkenny, but he's doing everything right as a centre back, covering off space but getting back to get these last minute tackles. If he didn't do that, nobody in Croke Park could see it. You only see it when he does it, and that's the difference between winning and losing.
The next big prediction now, of course, is going to be, we now know who's going to be in the All-Ireland final. Can Cork beat Limerick?
Yeah, can Cork beat them? Of course they can. They have speed, they have momentum, they have enthusiasm, they have youth, they have winners. They're after winning under 20 All-Ireland only a couple of weeks ago. So they definitely can trouble Limerick. The way you beat strength is with speed of mind and speed of legs, and Cork can definitely trouble them. But Limerick will be slight favourites, I say, going into it, especially after last night's performance, and deservedly so. They've been great champions. If they were going out to play a game of cards, as I said before, they'd be putting everyone would be trying to win it. That's the way John Kiley is instilled in that Limerick team. No one feels safe whether they're on the team. They're on the team because you deserved it. Aaron Gallan drops. Like, who drops their free taker? Nobody. I've never seen anyone drop their free taker. They dropped them, and Tom Morrissey didn't know more about it in Limerick than I would, but I wouldn't have seen him as a natural free taker, but outstanding on the frees. They dropped him and left Tom, and the way I think to beat that Limerick team, if you're to beat that Limerick team, that half hour line of Hegarty, Tom Morrissey and Cian Lynch will have to be marked.
You're known as well, obviously, for your wonderful hurling punditry, as well as your pop culture references. We have Game of Thrones, we've had The Lion King, we've brought in Love Island. Did you ever see Alfred Hitchcock's The Birds?
No.
I sometimes feel like we're extras in it. Have you noticed, are the goals here getting worse than ever?
They are. Like, there used to be a hawk or something going around one time here scaring them all away, but I think they come out around 6 o'clock. I'm not sure what time it is there now, but I've noticed last couple of years usually the games are over that bit earlier. They're on at 3 or half 3, and we might be here as late, but they seem to come out around 6 o'clock. That's feeding time. I have 2 calves at home there as well, myself and Finn, and they're kind of like pets, and if they're not fed in the evening, you'll hear them bawling too, so maybe it's time to feed them. Maybe
it's feeding time for us as well. Do the calves have names?
Oh, they do, but I'm not going to tell you what they are.
Oh, come on.
Some other day.
Well, that's a story I'd say we all look forward to. Tommy Walsh, it's been a pleasure. Gurvila Mads.
Thanks a million.